Welcome to the Golf for Beginners podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about probably one of the most important things if you're new to the game of golf. We're going to talk about the grip, how to grip properly, and what not to do.
Welcome to the Golf for Beginners podcast, your essential guide to mastering golf fundamentals. Whether you're a beginner golfer or a seasoned player looking to refine the basics, join us as we teach you everything about the fundamentals of swing technique, course management, equipment, rules, and how to practice. Today's host is none other than the award-winning PGA golf instructor Nikolaj Sæthe Engström, CEO of the biggest golf teaching business in Denmark and founder of Golf for Beginners Academy.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Golf for Beginners podcast. My name is Nikolaj Sæthe Engström. I'm going to be your host and your golf instructor today. And today we're going to talk about the grip. So maybe it sounds a little bit boring, but honestly it is extremely important that we don't miss anything here. Because if you set up with a completely wrong grip, your golfing journey is going to be more difficult. And if you already played golf for a while, it's still a good idea to listen to this episode because I will bring in some small tips in order to adjust the direction of your shots while adjusting your grip. So it should be good to anybody for listening to. But what we're going to do is that we're going to go through 5 steps, and those 5 steps combined will make sure, like in the end, you will make sure that you grip the club properly the next time you're on the course. So let's just start from the end. First of all, when we're talking about a golf grip, we need to choose what type of grip we want, and not the not the type of rubber that's sitting on the actual golf club. No, I'm talking about how you choose to position your hands and your fingers relative to each other. That's the different type of grips we're going to talk about. And we have 3 different types of golf grips that we can choose between. We have what we call the interlock, we have the overlap, and then we have the baseball. So we're going to try and do this. It's not the easiest thing to do without showing it. So we're going to try. I'm going to try explain it just by voice. But let's pretend you are a right-handed golfer. You are gripping the club with your left hand is closer to your body, and then your right hand is below the left hand when you're gripping golf club. From this position, you have 3 different things you can do with your fingers. Okay, and we're going to be talking about the right pinky finger and the left pointing finger. Okay. So those 2 fingers, if you choose to like lock those fingers in between each other, that would be called an interlock grip. If you take the right pinky finger and put it on top of the small space at your left pointy finger, then that would be overlapping. And if your left pinky finger and right pointing finger does not really interact with each other, they're just next to each other in the grip, that would be called a baseball grip. Okay, and what is the best to do? Well, I would recommend that you either do the interlock or the overlap grip. We don't see that many players do the baseball version where none of the fingers really touch each other, so I would go with either interlock or overlap. Both of them are great, and both will work fine for you and whoever is trying it. So maybe try them both out. Try to interlocking the right pinky finger and the left pointing finger, and also try to overlap them and see what kind of feels the best for you. But one of those 2 will definitely do the job for you. So that is the first thing we need to do. Then the second thing, the second step to a great grip, is that on the left hand, again we are right-handed player here. On the left hand, it's very important that the grip is placed, I like to call it, in the fingers. Okay, so a lot of players they will place the grip like very high up in the hand, but we actually want to feel like we're almost gripping it down in the fingers. Okay, so grip it in the fingers with your left hand, and then with your right hand we want to cover the left thumb. All right, it's very important. So in the fingers on the left hand, cover the left thumb with the right hand. If you got those 2 right, then we have already made it pretty far. Okay, so in the fingers on the left hand, cover the left thumb with the right hand. That was step number 2. Then step number 3 is the alignment or the rotation of the hands. Okay, and here we need to talk about what we call a weak grip and a strong grip. Okay, And this is not related to how strong you actually grip the club, it's related to the orientation of the hands. Again, let's say we're a right-handed player. A weak grip, that would be if you rotate both of your hands out towards the left side of the grip. So you rotate them to the left side of the grip. If you do that, that's going to be a weak grip. A weak grip will have a tendency to move your ball direction or your shot shape direction more to the right. Okay, this is extremely important. A weak grip would be rotating your hands out on the left side of the grip. That will move your ball flight more to the right if you're a right-handed player. Okay. Opposite, a strong grip would be rotating both of your hands out on the right side of the grip. A strong grip will have a tendency to move your ball flight more to the left. Okay. If you can remember these two things, this is extremely important because it makes it so much easier for you to actually adjust your direction a little bit. If you're standing on the range and you're hitting everything out to the right, maybe try and do a little bit of a stronger grip. That should move your ball flight more to the left, and that could be a quick fix for some people and actually help quite a lot in order to manage the direction of the shots. So, what is then the right and the wrong thing? Should I go weak? Should I go strong in the grip? Should I go neutral? Well, the thing is, it very much depends on your swing pattern and what other tendencies you have. So that's why I like to explain it in the way I did, that you can manipulate the direction of the shot by manipulating the grip. And for some people, it will need a strong grip. Some people will need a weak grip in order to hit the ball straight. It depends on the other tendencies in the golf swing. So that was weak and strong grip. That was step number 3 on our little list here. Then we move on to step number 4. This is about grip pressure. And this is related to how strong you grip the club. So how much pressure you actually use in your fingers in order to squeeze the club and hold on to the club. And we like to talk about grip pressure on a scale from 1 to 10. Grip pressure 1 would be the lightest. You can actually hold the club without letting go of it. Grip pressure 10 would be when you squeeze, maximum effort. Your fingers almost getting white because they're not getting any blood. That hard you're squeezing the club. And where are we on the grip pressure scale here? Of course, it depends a little bit on the type of shot that you're hitting. But for, say, a standard 7-iron, we're probably looking 6, 7 on the scale of grip pressure. Chipping and short game would probably be a little bit less on the scale, maybe 4 or something. Again, it depends on the lie and the type of shot very much. But a standard chip shot, maybe 4 on a grip pressure scale. Drive, because you really need to, you need to hold on to a club that's moving super fast. Maybe that grip pressure is going to be a little bit higher than the 6, 7. Maybe we're all the way up to an 8 if you really hit it hard. And then putting wise, grip pressure is usually super light. So maybe we go 2 or 3 or something on the grip pressure scale for putting. But in general, make sure that you don't squeeze too hard on the grip. That's a general tendency for most beginner golfers, and they really squeeze hard. Watch out for that, because that's gonna limit the amount of freedom you will get to actually use your wrist in a proper way in the golf swing. And just a little side note on this: all the things we talked about here about grip, this mainly applies for long shots, and you can also use it for chipping and all that stuff. But the putting grip, when you do putting, I would say that's something different. And there's room for being individual and choosing your own type of grip. When you do putting, you can do all kind of weird grip on the putting green. So you don't really have to lock yourself into any specific type or mode in putting grips. Feel free to do mainly what you want. You can also try and look on the TV. And you will see that a lot of the tour players, they have all kind of different putting grips. So this is mainly about grips for, axle chip shots or full swings or drives and stuff like that. But back to our little list here. We talked about grip pressure. That was point number 4 on the list. Now we need to talk about the last point, which is club face alignment. Okay. So I see a lot of, especially beginners, they are a little bit confused about club face versus grip. Okay. So where should you align the club face, and how should you position your hands relative to that? So what I like to do is that I like to place the club head behind the ball first, and make sure the club face is aligned in the direction you want it to be. So maybe towards the target or whatever you are, but that would be probably a good idea. So align the club face towards the target. Then you do the grip from there. Okay, I see so many people, standing, gripping the club, not really focusing on the club face is aligned, and then they put the club face down behind the ball, and then the club face is all twisted, and then they just turn their hands, and then now the grip is super weird relative to the golf ball, but the club face looks okay, and it's just a big mess. So if I was you, walk up to the ball, put the club face down, and grip the club. That'd be one way to do it in that order. You can also, take your golf club and actually hold it out in front of you and really make sure that the club face is maybe pointing straight up into the air. The leading edge of the club is pointing straight up into air, and then you take your grip there. But it's just super important that you also think about the club face alignment when you do the grip, because those two are very much connected. And a lot of beginners, unfortunately, they kind of miss this connection. So make sure you think about where the club face is aligned relative to how your hands is positioned on the golf grip. And by those words, we actually made it to the end of our little list of 5 things you need to do in order to have a proper grip. I hope it made sense for you. Grip is an important thing, and for a lot of people it might not be the most interesting thing to work on, but it can really help a lot if you actually fix a solid good grip from the beginning of your golf career. So spend some time on that, and don't forget to jump over to golfforbeginners.academy. It's a website full of articles, videos, and other tips and tricks that's really going to help your golf game, especially in the first part of your golfing career. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you want to tune in again to the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to another insightful episode of the Golf for Beginners podcast. We hope you found valuable tips and inspiration to enhance your golf journey. Remember, whether you're a novice or a seasoned player, there's always room for improvement. For more in-depth resources, tutorials, and a supportive community, head over to our website at golfforbeginners.academy. There, you'll find a wealth of information to elevate your game. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your fellow golf enthusiasts. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and enjoy this lovely game.